right. Welcome to the Good and Well Soul Cat.
It's been a minute, huh?
It's been a long time. Beep, beep, beep. Shouldn't have left you.
Without
a dope beat to step two.
Step two.
Step two.
Step two.
Step two to step two. A 50. All right, let's try that
Here
again.
We go. Hello, welcome back to the Good and Well Soul podcast. I'm Kim.
I'm Daishan. Thank you for joining us on this journey to physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual wellness. Welcome back, y'all.
Welcome back.
It's been a minute.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
I wonder if anybody knows what that's from.
They gotta know. Nick
hope
at Night.
So. All right, put it in the comments if you know what that's from.
Right. Okay.
All right, here we go.
So, on episode 8, we are going to be talking about the 5 love languages.
Yes.
So you want to give people a little bit of a background for what the 5 love languages are if they are not familiar?
Okay, so the 5 love languages kind of originated from a book that Gary Chapman wrote. He is a renowned speaker, author, pastor. And the book came out, I believe it was 1992. Yes, 1992, the bestseller, The 5 Love Languages came out. And in this book, basically after years of research and working with couples and counseling, he said that there were 5 ways to express love emotionally. And that each person has a primary love language, which they I guess they feel the most love when love is expressed in that language, they feel the most loved. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. So in order to love on people correctly, or to let them really feel the impact of it, because I feel like you can definitely show people love in a language that's not their primary, but in order for them to feel the greatest impact of that love, you'd want to be speaking in their primary love language, or at least, maybe a top 3. That's Kim. I don't know what he says. But I'm thinking, we're going to go talk about the reveal, but I saw he had 0 on one of his, and I just recently was trying to love language you like that. I was like, what? Like, I literally just last week, and when I did it, I did something that was in this area of love language, and your response was so basic. I was like, I'm never doing this again. You get on my nerves. I was so upset. And then when I was prepping for the podcast and I was looking at the percentages, and I was like, and it's 0. No wonder he was a jerk. I'm not doing that again.
Wow, jerk.
I mean, okay. Your response was like, this is how you did. Oh, okay.
It's not always like that, though.
Not always that bad. Like, that one was bad, especially because I was like hyped up about it. But it's pretty close. And I mean, maybe that's not your fault. It's my fault. I should have known it was a 0. I should stop doing it, maybe.
I feel like Father's Day, I had some pretty good reactions. Father's Day, me, you, and Joey unwrapped my gifts in the bed. It was all stuff that I wanted. She gave me a gift, y'all. When I did the assessment, I scored 0 on gift giving, but we'll get to that. But all the stuff that I wanted, like, I was excited about.
Okay.
So.
I mean, hey.
I remember.
I guess we'll talk about that later. Yeah. Anyway, so that's a little sneak peek into love languages.
Mm-hmm. I think I was first introduced to this by Pastor Walker.
Yeah, me too.
When we first did our premarital counseling. And it was one of those things where I felt like he told us about it. And it's one of those things where before you're married, somebody can tell you something, but it doesn't resonate until you get in and you start, as people say, you start playing in the sandbox and you realize, oh, that's how this works. I never knew. So, yeah.
Do you remember what your top love languages were back, what was that, 13 years ago that we would have done that? Do you remember what it was? I
know what the top one was. It ain't changed.
Of course you know what the top one is. I thought that was going to be my top one, too. I was like, oh, yeah.
God
About
bless
to
you.
get it in. Then I was like, I don't like...
It's.
I have a misconception of what this is.
I think you have a misconception of yourself when it comes to that.
No, I don't have a misconception of myself when it comes to that. I have a misconception of what that love language meant. And that was it. I'm very aware of myself in that area. Thank you.
That love language, or are you talking about?
Are you talking about sex?
No, I'm not talking
Oh,
about sex.
because I was going to be
about that love
highly
language.
offended. No, that's what I'm saying. I didn't understand what that love language meant when I thought that was sex. I thought that physical touch was sexual intimacy. That's what all I thought it was. So I was like, yeah, I want to have sex. Let's do this.
Sure.
You haven't had sex. We're getting married. Come on. Then I learned what that love language meant, and I was like, oh yeah, I don't care for that very much. So.
Because I'll be like, let me hold you tight.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Okay. All right.
So, we kind of already started, so we may as well just go ahead and reveal what our love languages are.
Okay.
So, first, we probably should talk about what each love language is. So, there are 5 of them. Let me see if I can do it from memory. Acts of service, physical touch, receiving gifts, quality time, words of affirmation. What I like about the love languages too, I feel like it's very self-explanatory.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's not really, granted the physical touch one threw me off a little bit. But I feel like the other ones, like if you say to someone, hey, words of affirmation is my love language, you could pretty much assume that, oh, that means they like to be encouraged using words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
I feel like though, some of the things, if people haven't had them modeled for them, they may be clueless. They may
You
not
think
know.
so?
Yeah, I feel like I was on some of them.
Tell me more.
I don't know. Let's define them first, and then I'll get into it.
Okay.
You want to take turns? No.
Go for it.
I was gonna let you do the first one.
Okay, so words of affirmation. So this chart I found is actually on fiercemarriage.com. I like charts. I'm a chart person and it's color coded, even better. That's an aside. But what I like about this chart is it talks about the love language and it says how to communicate it, what actions to take, and then things to avoid, which to me is so helpful because sometimes you know what to do, but you don't know what not to do. And oftentimes, I know for me, I was doing the what not to do things, but I was also doing the to do things. So I'm like, I don't understand why there's a problem here. Well, because you're also including those things that you need to avoid for a person with this particular love language. So again, this chart is on fiercemarriage.com. But for words of affirmation, it says how to communicate. It would be to encourage, affirm, appreciate, empathize, and listen actively. Did you want me to go through all the other things or?
Sure.
Okay. So actions to take: send an unexpected note, text, or card. Encourage genuinely and often. And then the things to avoid is non-constructive criticism, not recognizing or appreciating the person's effort.
Okay. All right, so the next one is physical touch. And physical touch, how to communicate with physical touch is nonverbal, using body language and touch to emphasize love. Oh, thanks, honey. Actions to take: hug, kiss, hold hands. Show physical affection regularly. Make intimacy a thoughtful priority. Things to avoid: physical neglect, long stints without intimacy, receiving affection coldly.
Oh, all right now. Okay, receiving gifts, things or how to communicate: thoughtfulness, making your spouse a priority, and speaking purposefully. I like that. Actions to take: give thoughtful gifts and gestures. Small things matter in a big way, and express gratitude when receiving a gift. And then things to avoid: forgetting special occasions, unenthusiastic gift receiving.
Sounds like there was a little bit of emphasis there. Emphasis. All right, the next one is quality time. And with quality time, how to communicate it is uninterrupted and focused conversations. One-on-one time is critical. Actions to take is create special moments together. Take walks and do small things with your spouse. Weekend getaways are huge. Things to avoid: distractions when spending time together. Long stints without one-on-one time.
That's good. Okay, so the final one is acts of service. And the ways to communicate: use action phrases like "I'll help." They want to know you're with them, partnered with them. Okay, the ways to communicate, or wait, isn't that what I just did? No, actions to take. Do chores together or make them breakfast in bed. Go out of your way to alleviate their daily workload. And then the things that you would want to avoid are making the request of others a higher priority, lacking follow through.
Oh my Lord.
Lacking follow through on tasks, big and small.
Wow. So,
drum roll, please. What are we?
You want to do the first one since you
Go ahead.
championed that one? All right. So, in terms of acts of service, Kim, that was her highest love language.
Highest love
at
language.
40%.
40% is a big chunk too.
It is a big chunk.
Like, it's not even like highest love language at 27%. You know what I'm saying? At 30%, 40%, that's like nearly half. That's a pie chart. That's like a chunk. Okay? That's big stuff. That's a lot of pie. Acts of service.
All right. I was at 10% on that one.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I feel like assessments. I feel like you can take an assessment and get a different thing.
I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. Like, that's the one thing too about these. There's no right or wrong answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no, oh, you're wrong and she's right, or she's bad because she doesn't like acts of service or whatever. It's just your makeup. Yeah, I was reading something about, people trying to figure out how does your love language get ingrained in you? And I don't know. There were all these different theories. I don't even want to bring them up, but yeah, because some of them were a little kooky. But honestly, we're all just made differently though, So it's about knowing that we're all different, appreciating our differences, and being able to show love to a person using those differences instead of, being selfish and saying, well, I like acts of service, so I'm going to wash your car. And I don't care if my car is washed and you forgot our anniversary. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. So it is what it is. So we talked about this one, physical touch. Now this is where Dashawn gets a big chunk of pie. 40% for physical touch, Dashawn, and me, 10%.
Help Jesus. It's not just all about the intimacy.
Well, it is about intimacy, but it's not about sexual intimacy all the time, which I think we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about like some challenges within the love languages in just a second.
All right. In terms of quality time, that's shocking.
I know. I'm gonna tell you why it's like that. I've already processed and thought about why it's like that. Go ahead.
So you had 17% and I had 27%. Well, you know what? It's shocking, but it's not.
So why are you saying it's shocking and why are you saying it's not?
Because I know that quality time is important to you, but at the same time, I realize that you are you're very much the introvert, and you like some time by yourself, and you don't mind expressing that. So now that I really think about it, that's probably why it's at 17% for you. Yeah.
Okay. I have another theory. Not that your theory is wrong. I feel like you have some valid points you've raised, but
You gonna hold yours or you gonna share it?
I think I'm gonna share it later.
Okay,
so for words of affirmation, I'm 27%. Dashawn is 23%. So kind of even on that one.
I get it.
Yep.
I get it for me. For you. I think I get it too. And then receiving gifts, Kim was Only 7%. Only 7%.
I mean, I don't really need you to give me a lot of stuff. Just the 7% is probably just on our anniversary and my birthday, Christmas. Other than that, I'm gonna buy it. So.
Anniversary, birthday, Christmas, Valentine's Day.
Yeah. That's probably it.
That's probably about 7% of the year.
That's 7.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And I was at 0%.
And he was at a big fat whopping 0.
You know, I feel like there's some part of my life that explains that. I'm not sure which part of my life, and maybe I perceive my childhood improperly, but I definitely feel like my early adulthood definitely contributes to that.
Early adulthood. So that's pre-me. Is that what you mean? Like
Pretty
17,
much.
18, 19, 21-ish?
Yeah. So I moved down here at the age of 17. We didn't get married till I was 26.
25?
25.
I think.
25?
How old was I? 23? Was I 25?
You were 25.
I was 25. Okay, you were 26.
Yeah, because I'm 38 right now. And we're 12
And then
years
I'm
in.
29. So yeah, that's right.
Wow. So you weren't even legal when we got married.
No, hey, whoa, wait a minute.
Well, people getting married if the parents sign for the
No,
17.
we're not going there.
You got to work your math
No,
right.
honey, bring it back. Boop-doop-doop. Okay, 0%, your early your early adulthood. Now, why would that contribute to you being 0% with receiving gifts?
Because I was down here by myself, all on my own. Wasn't nobody doing nothing for me. I wasn't even doing stuff for myself back then. I'm just out here, just
eating noodles.
savage. Locusts and honey.
Man, when I met you, oh my God, I was like, I'm going to have to work with this brother. He was eating noodles and ravioli out the can. I was like, this is not okay.
I had my pizzas.
And them pizzas.
But I used to cook when I first came to St. Louis.
I wasn't around then. When I came around, you wasn't cooking. You was eating noodles, ravioli out the can, and them pizzas.
I stopped caring for myself.
You did. I was like, po thing.
Nobody was caring for me.
I'm going to
I
have
didn't
to
care about
help
myself.
them. I'm going to help them, baby. I'm going to help them. All right. So, do the love languages. We kind of talked about this, but when you looked at the percentages and your results, did they resonate with you? Did you feel it was accurate?
For the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely. I feel like there's no question for me. The physical touch is a huge one for me. I'm just a big Care Bear. I just love hugs and handshakes and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Cuddling with you. And JoJo.
Yeah.
JoJo's a good color too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what about you? Do you feel like
100%. As soon as I saw acts of service was 40%, I was like, forget the rest of the test. It don't matter where it fall. That's me. Like, acts of service, I am I can get it done. Actually, I heard Crystal Evans she just was doing a live and she was talking about giving yourself grace. Woo, she was speaking to me. She was saying how you don't have to live your life always tense, like always doing all the things. And she was saying that she's learned how to give herself grace and we need to give ourselves grace. And she said there were times in her life where she took pride in, I can do a lot and I can do a lot quickly. Soon as she said that, I was like, oh my goodness, that's me. Because I'm like, I can get the job done. That's my superpower. Focus.
Yeah.
And give me a task. I'm going to knock it out. I'm going to get it done. I can do a lot. I can do a lot fast. And I think because I am very self-sufficient in that way, and to the point of it being a hindrance.
Somewhat of a fault.
Somewhat of a fault at times. Absolutely. Because I am that way, I feel like I also recognize the importance of people coming alongside you to help you, people coming alongside you to support you, and people are coming alongside to do some of those mundane, routine tasks like washing the dishes, like vacuuming, like putting the things away, like putting your clothes away when you get done washing them. Like those types of things for me, when those mundane, everyday routine tasks are not done, it hinders my creativity and my flow in other areas.
I hear you.
And so I end up spending time where I'm like, man, I could have been working on X, Y, and Z, but yet and still I'm doing all of these basic tasks because I don't have additional support. And so when I don't have that support, I don't feel like, I think what did the chart said, they want to know you're with them and partnered with them. I don't feel like I have that partnership. And that doesn't make me feel loved. So I already knew that was big.
Yep. Yep.
So.
And that is a lesson I have been learning over the 12 years of our marriage.
I know.
Trying to love you in that way.
Yeah. Because I don't know, like for me, I think this one has a big part of how we were raised. Because for me, like my parents raised us like everybody finna help. And by parents, I mean my mama. I don't know what my daddy was doing. I don't remember my daddy ever telling me to clean my room. He's probably out somewhere praying at the church.
You think so highly of him.
Don't talk about my daddy. So my mom, I remember my mom, come on, get up, clean up. Everybody gonna clean up. This is you cleaning up this, and it's your day to wash the dishes, and you doing that. And it was equal opportunity. Like me and my brothers, we were all helping around the house and doing the things. Leave my daddy alone.
I'm not
Stop
even thinking
looking
about
like
your dad.
that.
I'm thinking about Brian now. What you used to say.
Oh my gosh. Ugh.
That's what you get for marrying.
I know. That's what I get. I was like, I'm these youngest children. Lord. He used to cry, complain, whine. I mean, the boy would break out in tears, real tears, because she asked you to sweep the floor, put your clothes up. They your clothes. I mean, and this one, I'd be like, did your mama teach you to clean up?
She did. I was just trash at it.
I mean, so it is a struggle. It is a struggle, but I mean, truly, when you put all of that onto another person and expect them to do it, not necessarily by your words, because your words have never said that, but by your actions, by not picking up after yourself, by not just helping out, that can make someone that has this love language feel unloved. And then I think too, for me, when I specifically ask, this is where it gets worse. If I say, hey, can you knock out the kitchen today? Like, and today goes by and tomorrow goes by and the next day and it hasn't been done. Like, that's like, you don't care about me at all. You don't love me. When I ask for you to do a specific thing, if I say, hey, can you put the clothes away that are on the couch? And a week has gone by and those clothes are not put away. Like, that truly makes me feel even worse, because it's like, one, I feel like I shouldn't have had to ask that. But then two, I did go ahead and ask and you said yes. And then like, you just didn't do it. So now it's like, you don't love me and you disrespecting me. You know I go to disrespect real fast. So, yeah.
I think one thing lately for me, and I don't think I can go back and say that this has been the story of our life, our marriage, the 12 years, but I feel like for me, when there are times in life when we live beyond our margins, and I feel like when we live beyond our margins, it is, I don't know, I just feel like in general, it's just hard to love each other, period. Like in the love languages that we both share, I feel like a lot of those things fall by the wayside because we try to pack too much into the 24 hours of the day and the 7 days of the week.
And I think it's important to recognize and assess that, because what happens is you start to, or I will start to say, well, he doesn't love me because he's not doing XYZ. We haven't had quality time, or he's not affirming all these things that I'm doing. So he doesn't love me, when in reality, it's like, okay, we're not creating space to love each other well.
Yeah. And that's when I'll be ready to be like, all right, let's chuck some stuff.
You be ready to quit everything. I'll be like, hold on.
Get rid of it all. We starting over.
As soon as it gets crazy, Dashawn is like, nope, we quitting this, we out of this. And I'm like, I'm not quitting anything. I don't quit things.
Carte blanche.
No. So what we're not doing is quitting. We're going to look at this calendar. We're going to make it work. So, I mean, but there's an answer in the middle. You know, my way doesn't work. You can't just quit everything. But we can come together and reevaluate our lives so that we are leaving space to make sure that we are in a healthy relationship and we are creating opportunities for us to love each other well.
Yeah.
Did we talk about physical touch?
We explained it. We didn't talk about it in detail.
Okay, so one of the things I wanted to talk about was just like challenges you've experienced in communicating your needs. And I feel like I kind of hit on that with talking about words, quality. Which one was it?
Acts of service.
Acts of service. So do you want to talk about maybe challenges with physical touch? Because so I'm 40 acts of service, you're 10, and then you're 40 physical touch, and I'm 10. So you want to talk about that?
Don't
be scared.
I feel like I am very touchy-feely. I love hugs, like I said earlier, cuddling, all that stuff. But I think there are times when you tend to not want to be bothered. And so for me, it's just kind of like, okay. So not really knowing, okay, where does the double Dutch rope swing for me to jump in and say, I want this or I need this from you. So.
And have you ever communicated like directly and verbally like, hey, I would like a hug, or I would like to hold hands, or I know that sounds very perfunctory and, you know, just not organic in anything, but do you feel like you've ever had those times where you can sit back and just say, this is what I want? Or are you open to that?
I feel like there are times when I ask you for a hug or for a kiss. Yeah, I feel like there are times where I ask for it verbally.
Does that help to ask for verbally? Versus just not and then being like, I don't know when I can lean in or when I can, you know?
I think just what I gather is for you have to work yourself up to those types of physical expressions of affection. And so I feel like when I ask and you haven't worked yourself up for it, you haven't prepared yourself mentally or emotionally, then it's not necessarily, I guess, something that you're excited about. So, and I think that's something that will kind of make me feel kind of like, you know, it's not necessarily the zeal.
It's not what you really, because that's on the things to avoid is with physical touch, receiving affection coldly. So if you ask for it and I'm like, oh, all right, come on, you know, that's not going to give you the feeling of the love tank that you were looking for, which is understandable. Can I push back a little bit on that?
Sure.
So you said that, or what I heard you say was, I have to work myself up to. So the pushback I would give is not necessarily I have to work myself up to, but I am much more open to receive or give physical touch, which is one of the least of my love languages, when I feel like my tank is a little bit more on the full side. So like that day you was out there doing that shed, doing that little base that you was building, I was like, he out there hammering and knocking out something on the to-do list. I felt very physical touch. I can get, you know what I'm saying? I felt more inclined to do something that was the lowest is it the lowest for me? I think it is. That's the lowest for me because I also felt like I felt loved. And there are times, because it's not a tit for tat, like, oh, you fill me up, then I'm gonna come. But there are times like, and I'm extra, so sometimes I'll be like, I hope he remembers this, but I know he's not going to. Because I know you don't remember. But there are times where I literally will be like, okay, I'm gonna reach over and I'm gonna touch his arm. And I'll do that. And I'm like, I hope he remembers that I did this because I want this to count. Like, I want him to, and not I want this to count like a check mark in my box. But like I want him to feel love from me doing this, because I have to think about it. It's not natural for me to just be like, oh, let me cuddle up. Oh no, don't spill my coffee.
Oh Lord.
See, that's why it's not natural. No, it's fine. It's not natural for me to do that all the time.
Yeah.
So I have to consciously think about it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I do it and I'll rub your arm or something like that. And then you be trying to rub my arm back. I'll be like, no. I don't want to rub.
You got coffee on your phone, and
Oh,
no, you don't
I didn't
want
know
that. I'm sorry. You were going so good. I didn't want to stop you.
It's okay. I didn't know that.
You were touching me, so I didn't want to stop you.
You're going to be $700 buying a new phone. Talking about I didn't want to stop you for a touch.
$700 was worth it. No.
Oh, my touch not worth that. That ain't nothing. My touch worth more than that. But, so yeah, I think that's another struggle sometimes, because like if I do reach out and give you a hug or touch your hand or rub your back. I like to reach out and rub your back, feel your back muscles. But then you be trying to get it started, and I be like, I was just trying to give you a little physical touch.
When I touch you, that's when I be trying to get it started.
But after I touch you, then you touch me back, and I don't be want to be touched. I thought that was your love language.
Well, see, but
So
like,
how does that work?
so like, if you were to like give me a massage, like a massage, then I probably would just sit back and take a massage.
You lying? You are so lying.
I would probably be turned on, but like if it was like a for real, like, oh man, my muscles are so, like, I don't get massages, and so like if you were to say like I'm gonna give you a massage, and it was like working out all tension, I'd probably just sit back and not make it sexual.
Okay, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about on the everyday, random. I'm just trying to give you a little top off of your gas tank.
Yeah.
You be extra. You touch me back. So what's up with that?
But I think that goes to so Gary Chapman has that app. So there's an app called the Love Nudge.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna show you guys.
Is that his app officially?
I believe so.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't know that. I
so
just thought it was like somebody else.
The app links to his website. There's all these little videos. It is so robust of an app. Like, download it right now. If you're married or if you're getting married, dating somebody long term, like, download the app. Both of y'all take the assessment, and then what you can do on the app is you can send, what do they call it?
Nudges.
You can send nudges to your partner. You can say, hey, this is a physical touch thing that I would like you to do to help me fill up my love tank. Or this is an act of service I would like you to do to help me fill up my love tank. And I think that goes to just show, like, sometimes there may be things that I can do that may be acts of service, but it may not be what you wanted at the time. Or it may be things you can do that may be physical touches, but it wasn't necessarily a physical touch that did anything for me.
Oh, so when I be rubbing you on your back, it don't do nothing for you? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I was speaking hypothetically.
Oh, you better be hypothetical.
Receive.
Okay. That makes sense, though.
Yeah, because, I mean, I'm sure if I said, hey, honey, I'm trying to think of an act of service. That
It don't matter.
Blasé.
It don't matter. I'm going to be like, thank you. No. Bless your heart. What? Something I don't care about that's an act of service? Name one.
I'm sure there's something.
It's not. The only thing that I don't like, okay, I'll do this one, is like, say I'm in the middle of doing a task and then you come along and be like, oh, I'm going to help you. I'll be like, why are you here? I'm already doing this. Go do the 7 other things that are not done. You be like, I'm going to help you put away these towels. I just folded them. I'm gonna walk right the 3 steps.
I be wanting to spend time with you.
No, you be wanting to get credit for stuff that I don't need help with. So that's an example.
It's quality time.
No, it is not quality.
Doing it together.
No, doing chores is not quality time for me.
I like doing chores with you.
I like when you do chores for me. Okay. So another thing I like about the app, and then we can move on. I love the fact that it gives you ideas, which I thought that the ideas in the app were ideas that Dashawn came up with. So I was like, well, I did the thing that you said. He was like, what are you talking about? I didn't put that in there. I was like, oh man, I did it.
I logged in and I sent you one recently.
I saw it.
You saw it.
Yeah, it'd be hot. I follow that. But anyway.
I'll be trying to. I'm gonna think of some more and I'm gonna send them to you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna send some too. Mine gonna be wash the dishes, go put some gas in the car. Can you please clean the trash out? What else I'm gonna do? I'm doing all housework. Okay.
You know what though? So random tangent. So you used to, at the old house, you used to like just randomly be lurking, trolling me.
What are you talking about?
Like when I'd be out doing stuff in the yard.
Because you look so cute
I'd
when
be
you're out
doing
there.
stuff in the yard. And
I just love it.
I look up in the window and you just standing there. And I'm like, oh, hey, I have my headphones on and everything.
I know. You just be looking so... Oh.
That's why I want to get an axe though.
What?
Because in my dream that...
How about we get a lawnmower?
No, hold on, listen, follow me.
Okay.
In my imagination,
okay,
the dead tree that's in our front yard, I imagine myself getting me an axe and going out there with just some overalls on.
Oh my God.
And and you look out the window and you see me chopping, I'm sweating and, muscles rippling. And I'll be like, timber! And you'll be like, yeah, that's my man.
We'll finish building the shed first and we'll see about an axe.
Yep, after this episode.
Okay. Anyways, so challenges you have experience in communicating your needs. So I think we kind of covered
just
that.
Talked about that.
Is that good enough for you?
I think so.
That's all I had, really. I mean, I felt like that was a nice intro. Do you have anything else you wanted to add? You want to talk about any of the other ones? Like quality time is kind of even for both of us. But I definitely feel like when you were talking about the margins in our life, that really hit on, that quality time. I think quality time is usually the first one to go.
Yeah. Quality time, man.
And having Joey, man.
Joey is an intimacy buster.
Because he just wants he wants all the intimacy times to be with him too.
He's the Thanos of intimacy.
No, don't call my baby Thanos. Absolutely not. Not okay.
Give me that intimacy, half of it.
No, that's not okay.
Hug sandwich.
I know, but leave him alone.
Bless his heart.
He's just he's a physical touch guy.
He is. I love him.
He's a physical touch guy.
Sometimes we be sitting there, I'll be like, JoJo, give me a hug.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all. Which there is a love languages for children too. I think that when he gets older, it will be nice to see.
It might even be worth looking into now. I think he's keenly aware of his emotions. Like it's spooky how aware he is of his emotions. I don't think I was. I think I was just governed by my appetites, as Paul says.
This is what I married.
Yeah.
Lord help us. Well, okay, so definitely feel like using the Nudge app is a great way to encourage us to fill each other's love tanks. Do you have any other ideas on ways that we can both be giving as well as receivers?
I think one thing, if I can, before I answer that, go back to what we were talking about with the quality time. I think sometimes community and environment can really impact stuff like quality time. You know, having sitters that you trust and feel comfortable with.
Yes.
Especially when you got kids. I feel like when we were single, it was just a matter of, did we plan anything or not? You know, were we creative? Did we have money? But now that we have a child,
did we have money?
Did we have money?
Did we have money?
But now that we have Joey, it's like,
did we have money? Do we have a sitter?
Yeah, I feel like we've gotten more creative though.
Absolutely. Like we've done more outdoor stuff. Like last summer when we were doing the walks, that was such great quality time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You owe me a walk too. Remember I told you I want you to go on a walk with me around the park? You owe me a walk.
Which park? Any park?
No, I want to go to Spanish Lake again.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been in a while.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like, especially just my family is not here, so I feel like that.
Yes, because I would drop him off at your sister's house in a heartbeat. And I mean, yeah. For me, it's just on my side. I feel like COVID has messed up sitters, because I mean the only one is mom, Marsha. The people that we normally relied on that were like very safe people for us are just not really options as much, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But
I mean, prior to COVID, we had never paid for a babysitter, and that's something that we started doing. So that's
that's
awesome.
true. Yeah, that's true. I mean, this made us be like, look, we have to have somebody consistent. And that, absolutely. I think that having that consistency, having someone that you can depend on, 100% improved our ability to have quality time. Uninterrupted. And not talking about church or even sometimes work. Like, you know, you don't want to hear all of that all the time. Because sometimes work is just drama, you know?
Yeah.
So I was asking really quickly, how can we, let's see if I can remember my question. Other than the Nudge app, what are some other ways that we could do a better job of giving? I mean, we of course want to be receivers, but to be a giver of love in a way that resonates with your love language.
I feel like there's definitely a level of being aware of your spouse, being aware of your partner. So me being aware of you, and I think sometimes that comes with actually asking and finding ways to say like, hey, what do you want? Like that's why I do love the Amazon wish list thingy. So like we're giving gifts when we create wish lists for each other. It makes it easier because it's like, I definitely know there are times where I've really tried to spend money on a gift and I was like, man, I missed the mark. So I think just
Usually
really finding,
your gifts are pretty good when you do them.
Yeah, finding ways to make sure you are aware, finding ways to communicate that. I feel like, and I think one thing that has happened lately for us is not always feeling like it has to be a sit down conversation. Because I feel like sometimes the sit down conversations feel like something's about to happen. And just like these apps, I feel like are really neat in being able to say, hey, this is what I like. Or even text messages or, going old school and writing letters.
I sent you a text the other day that was a word of affirmation and you did not respond.
What?
You didn't respond. It's in here. I said, You didn't even reply. I'm not going to say it out loud. But it was a word of affirmation. You didn't respond.
I do not remember seeing that. I'm going to have to look through my
I affirmed you with words in a text.
Yeah, I do not remember seeing it. I'm going to have to see if I got that message. The devil be trying to bust up our text messages.
The devil is a lie.
I feel like just as of the past year, the enemy been getting up in T-Mobile. Like when we talk on the phone,
oh my
it be
goodness,
all bad reception.
We cannot have a phone conversation. I mean, I just be like, sometimes I just hang up.
I know you do.
Sometimes I just be like, man, I can't hear him. I ain't even finna say nothing no more. Just click.
I'll be sitting there
He'll
like,
figure it out.
Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? The enemy just getting
It's because
busy.
we out here in these boonies, and then your job is back up in the cut too.
I feel like my job got some inhibitors on phone
Probably.
service.
They need them at that job. Anyways, well, thank you all for joining us for another episode of the Good and Well Soul podcast. We're really excited to be back. We're looking forward to ending the year with a few episodes. A few episodes. Try to be consistent up in this mug. But yeah, thanks for joining us. And I hope that our conversation, just revealing ourselves with our love languages, gives you an opportunity to maybe have a conversation with your partner as well about what your love languages are. I think it's important to not be afraid to express what you need. Express what you need. Be vulnerable.
And if you like physical touch but your partner doesn't, remember to ask first.
Yes.
Can I hug you?
Consent is key.
I was asking for real.
Oh.
No.
Here we go.
I'll ask later.
All right.
All right. Peace out, y'all.
See ya.
All right.
Are you ready?
Get ready, get ready, get ready. I can do this now.
I don't want that.
So.
I don't care.